Do you think the origin of life researchers are getting close to creating life in their labs?
Well, there's an old joke about the scientist with his bottle of brew of primeval soup with some sort of creature emerging from it. So, well, if I can create life out of this test tube, I will have proved that it doesn't require any intelligence. So even in that question, there are some underlining assumptions. Now, I'm not scoffing at you, Sandy. It's just that is, as with those quotes that I used in my slides, deep down, scientists do recognize that there is information there. They just don't want to take the next step and think, well, where did the information come from? It didn't come out of the molecules. Information comes out of a mind, and they don't want to put those two things together.
Well, if we're ever asked what would convince you that creation is not true, what makes creation falsifiable, I guess, then my response would be, well, if you could show me that DNA can generate from natural processes, then I'd have to start questioning whether God had put it together. But I'm very confident that that's never going to happen.
Yeah, because it's been attempted since the 1950s with, as I think Diane was alluding to, very well thought out, very engineered, a lot of intellectual design experiments, and they've all failed. So,
and as it's interesting, right? When you look at the last time that human beings were all together as one with one language, which was of course the Tower of Babel, God came down and saw mankind, and he said, look, the people have one speech and one accord. Now nothing that they desire will be withheld from them. And so God brought down judgment, split up the tribes and nations, and off you go. But it is sort of interesting that who knows, maybe one day, as we all come together as one accord and we all speak the same language and we're heading towards the so-called, end times, without getting into eschatology, maybe we will find out a way to be able to create something that could be regarded as life. But even if we do, that's still not going to prove evolution, because it requires an intelligent designer to be able to do that. Now, I'm not saying that will happen. I'm very skeptical of that. But even so, it would prove that it would take an intelligent designer. It would be us attempting effectively to be God. And all we've just proven is that it required a God to do it in the first place, right? So it has to be further than just showing that a scientist can create, life in a lab. It has to be evidence that it could happen by itself with no outside intelligence required, no special circumstances or anything like that. Otherwise, you're just proving that a God had to be there in the beginning. So you're back to the point of a creator.
Yes, I think Craig cheated because he didn't start with just basic chemicals. He started with Lego blocks.
Yeah.
You need to go back to a big jar of oil and just shake it up and down and hope that it.
And then we'll ask, where did you get the oil from?
I'll get sore arms doing that.